Hi, Genki Call here with faction info and teams for the Warrens. The Warrens is connected to Pan's Veil, so be sure to keep an eye on your kingdom level here because starting at level 12, you can start getting faction horde stat bonuses. Also, need to pay attention, of course, to your horde. So you want to always get every single faction to 100/10 at least to get your full renown for the faction. You have to get these to 100/10, but you at the very least try to get your quality up so that you can get those better chests at the end. That is super important, um, because you really want to get those high level chests. And of course, the horde itself is going to give you a lot of bonuses to make things a bit easier for you. So as far as information that you need about um, the Warrens, let me go into troops here. I will pull up the Warrens under all kingdoms. It's under T, isn't it? So silly. All right, Luna is our faction legendary. It does damage to all enemies and either inflicts a couple of status effects on all enemies or grants status effects to all allies. So positive status effects to you, negative status effects to them. And extra nice, explode a random gem when matching yellow gems. So it's a little bit of a lightning strike type situation. Love it. It makes her lots of fun to use. She does have a chance to dodge skull damage, which is also very nice. The Lapina Knight does damage to an enemy, grants all allies a random status effect. She's comparatively weak. And then Trickster is a semi-good mana generator, explodes green gems, and switches the first and last enemies, which is going to be difficult for you because there are two of him in the first room. And this can really screw up your team unless you allow him to switch you back. And lastly, we've got the Bunnicorn, who creates 7 yellow gems and charms a random enemy. So charm does nothing unless you have enemies that are adjacent to one another, because they will hit whatever's touching them. So if there are 2 troops touching them, it's going to hit 2 troops. If they have nothing touching them, it does absolutely nothing. But at least it will create some gems, and it starts with 75% mana as well. So if we go into the Warrens here, I will show you. You have 2 routes to the throne room. You can go this way, or you can go this way. Of course, on the early levels, you're going to want to do every single room. You want to get your multiplier on your chest as high as possible, because in this final room, there are arcanes. These arcane light trait stones. When you get your treasure multiplier up, it's also multiplying not just gold, not just this, but also these trait stones. So doing the faction assault at the Warrens can get you plenty of these arcane light trait stones. At first, I didn't want to do the faction assault. I just wanted to farm this site. But you get so many from the faction assault because you start with a ×2 multiplier right off the bat when you are doing a faction assault. So get yourself a bunch of these. They are super useful. It's so nice not to have to farm them in a kingdom. But you do have to go through quite a few rooms to get there. Now, I did mention the first room here. Let's go ahead and click fight. You have 2 tricksters, and he starts off with 75% mana, so it doesn't take much for him to get filled up. He'll flip these 2 back around, or they'll flip these 2, and then the other one will flip them back. You might just want to wait and let him get enough mana to flip your troops back to where they need to be. It will always be switching the first and the last. It will never involve the others. So in that way, it's kind of helpful that way. But let me see. What do I have to tell you? So, Pure Faction is... Answer that. Pure Faction is 2 Lunas, Bunnicorn, and Luna. So you don't have to worry about them getting switched, because Luna is the same troop. So even if it gets switched, it's not a problem. But this is your best bet for Pure Faction. So, I have on my list here, this post on my forum will be, I will have a direct link to this post if you want to check it out. Um, this information on the explode destroy mana generators is not going to be in the description below. There's not enough room. I'll put all of the teams down there, but this information can't go there. I have teams here for no legendaries. Of course, Rowan can be used here, so that is excellent. Rowan is just a beast. So, also want to mention that the Warrens is the only faction that uses yellow and green. There is currently no other faction that uses these colors. Also, the Garland Staff is the faction weapon, and it will be available in the event shop for gems and in the Soulforge for diamonds during faction assaults for the Warrens only. But I really like this weapon, and let me show you what it does. I don't use it all the time, but I really do enjoy this weapon. It's fun to use. So it is Garland Staff, and it self-enchants. I can tell you that right now. Um, but we've got, it entangles the first enemy, it enchants itself, destroys 3 random green gems, and deals 5 scatter damage, which is great for breaking barriers in case they've barriered themselves. But it does scatter damage to all enemies, which in general isn't that powerful, but it also grants 1 to 2 status effects to all allies, which can be really fun. Before I got Nimbus Bow, this is what I used to use with my triple finesse team. And speaking of triple finesse, it can be used here. It's further down in my list here, but we've got no legendary teams. We've got quick delve teams as always. We've got we've got the higher level teams as always. Finesse, Nimbus Bow. Now I put Nimbus Bow in here, but you can also use the Staff of Storms, which will blow things up and summon. You might get fewer match 4s, but you'll have that backup summons in case you lose one of your finesse. High King Iron Gut can be used here. Queen Beatrix can be used here. And so I've got a few teams here with High King Iron Gut. And then I think that's all I had to go over. Hopefully I have not forgotten anything, but I will be live streaming as usual. That is the plan. I'll be starting that within a couple of hours after reset. So we will see you then. Please like and subscribe, and we'll see you soon. Bye bye.